G'day folks, Adam from Glyn Foundry here with another kit for us to have a look at. Today we are having a look at our new Glyn Valley passenger coach kit. This is my first version. Our doors open. I'll do a outside highlight of this, and our roof comes off, exposing our seats. So in kit form, this model comes as body in two main parts. Now today we're putting together the brake van or brake coach version, which fits together exactly the same. I have revised where the body is split on this version, and any kits of the standard coach that go out will be the same as this, just to be a little bit less visible. So two halves of the body, we'll stick those together in a minute. We have our roof, single piece. We have our undercarriage hardware, which consists of, in this version we have buffer mounts and a standard 20mm coupling socket as per my usual. I have modelled these in the as preserved, as that's the drawings I have had. I understand as original they did not have the normal sprung buffers. If you want something different as far as buffer and coupling layout, just let me know and I'll do my best to look after you. We have what look like our standard sprung axle boxes. They are actually slightly wider, but essentially the same and work the same, and two Lincoln pin housings. As I said, if you need something different, happy to provide. And there would be, I don't have them printed yet, 4 little oval buffers. We also have 4 doors. Now, yet again, in this case, it being a brake coach, the doors are slightly different, but they work the same. That is the rear luggage compartment door. You can see no window. And there is the standard door. And same again. So if you got the normal coach, you would have 4 of those doors. It wouldn't have the centre ducket, and this window and its counterpart would be open. There is also a open coach version, which is similar ends, same roof, same chassis, same beading, except for it cuts off at the window height and then only has half height doors. But as far as assembly goes, it's exactly the same. We have 2 carbon fibre rods. You need to shorten these to accommodate it, or I'll probably shorten those for the customer. We would have a bench seat similar to this one, but a little bit longer. And we have our standard little packing box. In this box you have 12 5mm magnets and 8, or probably 9, I like to throw in a spare just in case, little pins for your hinges. I'll probably only show hanging one door, but it's the same right through the model. Okay, surplus to what is provided in the kit, you will require some wheel sets. I'm using a set of curly spoke train departments to demonstrate this, and you require some glue, which I did get out. Glue. You will also want a pair of pliers just to squeeze the pins in for the hinges. Okay, so assembly is as follows. We'll take the roof off. We want to stand this body on its end. We want to get our magnets. Now this is easier slightly before. We'll just separate all the pins from the magnets, because magnets and metal. So we're going to use our usual trick with putting magnets together. We'll put a blob of glue in there, and we'll push the magnet into its flush, then push the rest of the magnets sideways, Now we want to make sure we keep holding this the same way up. We'll, for the minute, leave the end off our glue and we'll put in that one. Pushing sideways, causing the magnet to release. So that's that end done. We then turn the body around. We've got another magnet for the back door. Apply that. Push the magnet into the well and sideways. And flip that over. Bit of glue into the well and sideways. Okay, and we'll stand that on its end. We'll then get our pliers and we'll just reach in and give that magnet a slight squeeze, pushing it all the way home. And then we'll grab the end of the coach and do the same. Right, that's all the magnets home. So next we'll grab our doors. Now the doors do need drilling out. So you will want a 5mm drill bit in a pin drill or a small power drill and just give it a gentle kiss. We only want to make room. We don't want to make a cavernous hole. Just tighten that drill chuck up a little bit. And there, like so. We will want the drill again in a moment. So similar again, we grab our glue, we put a bead of glue in the hole. Now we turn our tower of magnets over, pushing the first one in and pulling the magnet sideways. Sit it down. Doing it this way tries to ensure that our polarity stays the same. So and that is the doors all done. See that one, because I didn't pull it sideways, it pulled the magnet back out. Now we don't have to worry too much about polarity of that. I'm just going to sit the doors to one side. Alright, now we want to join our two main body pieces. So we simply put some glue on there. Now we can put the lid back on our glue for the minute. We insert our pieces of carbon fibre rod and then get the other end of the body, lining up our holes to our rods. Which can sometimes be easier said than done. And we push our two halves together. Actually, we should have put just a tiny little bit of glue on these upper door sections. And push that together. I find it just stays nicer if we put a couple of clamps on there to help hold them in alignment. Right, we now want to get our drill, and just these sockets want checking. I've revised these slightly between models and I forgot. So we want to put some glue in each of those holes. And same again, we push down, push sideways, we're holding the magnet, push down, push sideways, remembering which way up we were, and we'll put that to one side. Now our roof with its nice little rain gutters, turn him upside down. As you can see, we've got matching holes in the roof. Put some glue in those, turn our 2 remaining magnets upside down. That's where it starts to get very fiddly. Push them in there, hold that there, hold that there, keeping the orientation. Alright, now just so that I can demonstrate this to you and it makes life a little bit easier, we'll just cut a little bit of tape and put over these magnets. So that, sorry, my daughter wanting a lolly. We'll just put a little bit of tape over them so they can't be uncooperative, and we'll do the same on these. Just cut an inch or so, it can be any tape. I just happen to have this black Teflon tape here. Now that's all the major parts assembled, so you want to go out and paint those to your chosen liveries. My example is in Brunswick green and with white pointing, which is what the paperwork said it should be, but that is entirely up to you. Once you've come back, your bench seat, yet again, as I said, this would be longer, goes in, glues in that end if you want it. If you don't, you don't. Next, we'll roll it onto the one side. We want to get one of our doors with no windows in this case. Of course, if you're assembling a standard coach, well, that doesn't matter. We get our pins out of our little box. We simply, I find with the doors at full extension that way, ease the pins in. Ease the pin in. Then we want our pliers. We just give that a squeeze, focusing on the top hinge. And the holes in the body are smaller than the holes in the door. And that we'll let that shut. Now if I open that, it'll probably pull the magnet out. Just to repeat, we'll put this door on, which is going to be a little bit more awkward because of the ducket. But we put him in there. Might even be easiest to do this one closed. Pin in. I will openly admit this is the first time I've assembled the brake version. I've done a couple of the passenger version, but not the brake. Now you could use super glue to glue the magnets in, but I find it sets that a little bit slower. It sets quicker, but it doesn't hold magnets as well. So there we go, there's our finished side. You would have painted that inside and out beforehand. Even doing the lining on the doors I find easier with no body in the way. So now onto our underframe. Now these are a little bit different. You can see our carbon fibre rods go through our axle box slots, but it still works essentially the same as usual. Sorry, I sat my glue down. Okay, of course our wheel sits there. We want to put a bead of glue each side, grab our axle boxes, feed those on, and they will actually pop in past our carbon fibre tube, the rod, like so, and hold themselves on quite well. Repeat on the other end. In the case of this Lincoln pin coupler model, we take our Lincoln pin socket, we put some glue in there, and that sure enough just goes in there and holds once the glue sets. Our buffers, here's our buffer beam, go in like so, just with a spot of glue. And then I forgot to mention earlier, we have these little steps. This is one of the differences between this body and the first one I showed you. Glue into, there's these rectangular slots. You want to pre-paint your steps, and they go in like so, there and there. And just so it'll sit flat, we'll ease the wheels back out. So that is our Glyn Valley brake coach with its magnets the roof stuck on. We've got a lamp bracket up there, and that would be ready to run. I'll bring back the painted example. I don't actually have any footage of these running as yet. I still need to glaze this. And if you get the passenger coach version, it will come with the smooth upholstered seats, including those. The open coach version would come with the same longer bench seat as you'll have with your guard, but in this form, so you can have the same triple seats. Yeah, probably the most luxurious and roomy coach I have made. These coaches, of course, are in 7/8. There may be 16mm versions available in the future if people are interested. These are currently available on our Facebook page, link in the description. Please like, share, comment, and so on if this has been interesting to you. And as always, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.